This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
Well, hi there. Good to see you again. How was your week? Busy like ours? Yeah? Well, that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. All the hard work paid off because once again, we've got a great show for you. Coming up, from a young age, she knew being a vet was her calling, and now she's living her dream. With a focus on high-end performance horses and beloved family pets, Dr. Zoe Latimer goes above and beyond to provide exceptional care. From luscious blueberries to juicy blackberries, step into the bountiful world of Berry Good Farms, where one person's passion for farming transformed a downturn into a thriving U-pick operation.
And from bulls to barrels, laughter to love, and family above all, Jake Wilcox's path to becoming a professional rodeo clown was full of surprises, sacrifice, and unwavering passion. That and so much more, starting right now on the Farm Monitor.
For many people, their animals are far more than just animals. They're family, which is why top-of-the-line veterinary care is a must. One person who is focused on providing that necessary care is Zoe Latimer, a large animal veterinarian in Newton County that has a passion for equine and equine care.
I never remember ever wanting to be anything but a vet. I think from literally as long as I can remember, I wanted to work with horses and I wanted to be a vet. My mom always wanted to go to vet school. She never did. So she was really glad when I started expressing that I wanted to be a vet. She was like, oh yeah, we can have a vet in the family. But yeah, I never saw myself doing anything else. This was pretty much it. This was plan A, B, and C. So I only applied to one school, put all my eggs in one basket. I know they tell you not to do that, but I did, and it worked out, thankfully. I love the good clients, I really do. Like the people that love to see us and they do what you recommend, and I just love coming to work for them and their animals and helping them get better and helping improve agriculture. I mean, we have a very nice client base. We get to work on a lot of performance horses, not just your backyard animals. Like I get to do a lot of high-end horses, which means we get to see a lot of beautiful horses, and people want to do a lot of cool treatments, or we can go a lot further with a lot of these cases because the horses are so valuable, or somebody has like a big emotional attachment to them, and so they're willing to go above and beyond to try to fix their horse, which makes me excited, like when somebody says that they want to go for treatment, because I'm like, now we get to fix it, or at least we get to try our hardest, to fix it. And we don't always succeed, but we give it our heart, we give it our best shot. In our performance horses, it's always, getting after that blue ribbon. We want, the better our clients' horses perform, the better that makes us look. Because they're like, how's your horse going so good? Like, or how, they fixed, who fixed your horse for you? Because, it was doing X, Y, and Z. And so we fix them and we get them running like a well-oiled machine again. And, then that makes us look good because, our patients are doing really well. And so that's important to me, is to get them back out there as quick as we can, and at least on the performance horse side. And then, obviously a very important part to me too is these horses, that a lot of horses that we work on are like family members. People love them. They are, they have them for 35 years, and they live forever, and so really important to me is making sure people feel like their family members are taken care of, and that we've got your back, so it's really important to me.
Well, meantime, if you're a family looking for a little fun in the sun, look no further than one of the many U-pick operations found throughout the state. One such operation, Berry Good Farms in Tift County. Damon Jones takes a closer look at how they've grown from a small backyard hobby into an ever-expanding fruit business.
It's no secret that Georgia is one of the most diverse states when it comes to agriculture, and that is well represented here at Very Good Farms in Tifton, where everything from asparagus to persimmons to strawberries are grown throughout the year. And it all began thanks to a passion for farming and a downturn in the economy more than 15 years ago.
At that time, I had and also still have a mortgage company, which really set this thing on fire when the mortgage industry in 2008, or the financial crisis in 2008, really hurt the home sales, and we do mortgages, home mortgages. And so it sort of just pushed me to the farm more often, and I was always planting something.
While he might have grown up on a dairy farm, Welker has specialized in providing the community with the highest quality fruits, including two that are a staple during the summer months. However, in order to get them, you have to make a trip out to his farm.
That's the only way we sell it. We don't ship, we don't freeze anything. It's just all fresh fruit. We can pick it for a customer. Typically, we like customers to pick their own, and they enjoy it. It's a family type event, and we have blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. The attraction really is blueberries and blackberries. Those are the two items that we promote the most. It's also what I have the most of. I have approximately 6 acres of blueberries and almost 4 acres of blackberries.
Even though growing the blackberries come with a unique set of challenges, it is a fruit that does grow pretty well here in the state when properly taken care of.
Very well. If there's a problem with them, they're not like a blueberry that are very tolerant of diseases. Blackberries will pick up a lot of different problems. The most recent is the orange blotch, and that is caused with an algae. We use a little bit of copper and it'll knock it out, but it has to be on a regular basis, and it's every year now.
And if he has anything to say about it, Welker will be at it for many more years to come, as the enjoyment he gets serving the community and tending to his crop helps him get out of bed each and every morning.
Of course, I don't have far to go. I live right behind it, but yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Particularly when everything's running smoothly, but it's getting a little harder now that I'm getting a little bit older, but it's still very rewarding in that there's always something. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do the next day. I just walk out the door and it is slap you in the face.
Reporting from Tift County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Well, tighten up those bootstraps and brace yourself, because we're about to grab the bull by the horns and do some rodeo clowning. After the break, the incredible journey of Georgia's own Jake Willcox. From cow-catching kid to professional rodeo clown, laughs, sacrifices, and family bonds define his incredible story.
My favorite time is when I can pick the first blueberry, and then a bittersweet time is when the season is over and I've picked the last blueberry off the bush and I know I won't be able to come back anymore. I'm Beth McQuaig McIntyre, and I'm in the middle of a rabbit eye blueberry field in Wilcox County, Georgia. To me, the soil in Georgia is ideal for blueberries. It is sandy, loamy clay. You can have your soil tested. Where we are in Wilcox County, we have sandy, loamy soil. It was initially pine tree land. It had a lot of good acidity to it. So for our farm, that is what makes blueberries good. There's nothing better for a source of vitamin C than blueberries. Also, antioxidants are in blueberries. They're available to you year-round, fresh or frozen. Of course, fresh are usually preferred, but we also have frozen from our farm all year long. this year for us, we opted to use our harvester 100% of the time. So all of the berries that we have harvested this year have been done by the harvester, which for me, and as far as food safety goes, that is much safer than a lot of different hands touching the blueberries. So no hands touch the blueberries really until we get to the packing plant, and then they have gloves on and they have masks and hairnets and sleeves. So in my way of thinking, we made a decision to go with the harvester as a food safety measure as well as a cost-saving measure. I can run the harvester with 5 people rather than having 85 people in my field. So it's a matter of economics there. Now, we just have a 74-acre farm, so in the big picture, we are just a little drop in the bucket. But we want to be a good drop in the bucket, and we also want to be a productive farm, which we think we are. We're a relatively new farm. So out of the $300 million that is the economic impact of blueberries in Georgia, we might just be a little drop. However, it takes all of us working together to provide that $300 million to the state of Georgia.
In the heart of Arnoldsville, Georgia, a small-town cowboy has been captivating audiences for years with his unique blend of humor and fearlessness. Meet Jake Wilcox, a Georgia native, UGA graduate, and a true cowboy at heart, who found an extraordinary way to combine his love for rodeo with his passion for making people laugh. While Jake Wilcox's journey as a rodeo clown might seem surprising to some, it was destined to be a part of his life from the very beginning. Born and raised in the Athens area, the rodeo culture runs deep in Jake's family. Growing up, he watched his father dazzle the crowd with his performances. So naturally, Jake wanted to follow in his footsteps.
I grew up wanting to be a cowboy. And we went and caught cows. People have cows get loose. My dad was the guy they called, he was the cow 911. And so we'd go catch cows, we'd do this and cowboying and all that stuff.
But Jake's path to becoming a professional rodeo clown was full of twists and turns. Initially, he considered riding bulls himself, like some of his college rodeo team friends at UGA. However, he soon realized that his true talent was bringing laughter to the arena rather than facing off against ferocious beasts or riding their backs while holding on for dear life.
You have to have a certain mentality to be a bullfighter, to be willing to just run in there with reckless abandon and try to save somebody that made a conscious decision to get on a bull. I was always cutting up and always having a good time and never bashful about getting in front of people and doing stuff. I auctioneered from the time I was a little kid, and so getting a microphone and putting it in my face wasn't something I was afraid of.
At one point in his career, Jake traveled the country nearly every weekend and quickly rose to prominence as one of the most popular rodeo clowns on the circuit. With a knack for modern humor and a bag full of tricks, he effortlessly keeps the audience entertained no matter the circumstances. And make no mistake about it, everything Jake does inside that arena serves a purpose and is carefully thought out long before the rodeo ever begins. But occasionally, things happen. And over the course of his career, Jake has had to sacrifice himself in order to save a rider from serious injury.
Yeah, we had some stuff like that. Now, did I get any big broken bones and hospital stays and all this stuff? No. Was there a few times that, you wiped off a little blood and talked about, that you might be hearing bells for a few days? Yeah, it happens.
There's might have been a handful of times where I wished he wouldn't have done something, or I think that bull's a little rank or he's a little hot and he's hunting for the barrel, and he hits the barrel and Jake's inside of it and he's hitting it and he's hitting, that barrel is rolling and rolling. And there's been a couple times that Jake doesn't just pop up out of the barrel and I'm going, my heart's racing. Jake's not popping up. But at the end of the day, he always pops up. He always makes a joke about it. It can be dangerous, but Jake is smart. And I always tell him, I'm like, please be careful, please be smart. It's not worth it. you know. And at the end of the day, he's smart. He pays attention, he knows what he's doing, and he helps the bullfighters, he helps the bull riders, but he also keeps himself safe. Because at the end of the day, being my husband and being the father of our children is the #1 most important thing at the end of the day.
Words of wisdom from the lady Jake says is the love of his life, his wife Lauren, and the two share an incredible bond. Lauren is also a UGA grad and a competitive roper when she's not serving as a special education teacher in Oglethorpe County. Love blossomed between the two when they were students in Athens, and they quickly became inseparable. With their shared passion for rodeo, they traversed the country together, creating cherished memories both in and out of the arena. However, life changes, and so too did Jake and Lauren's. The arrival of their 3 young kids, including twin boys, altered their perspective. The once incessant 45 weeks a year travel schedule, well, that now takes a back seat to family life.
I hope that they have something to do with horses or something to do with farming. Riley's kind of getting into wanting to buy her own cows. Her daddy has taught her how to invest her money in cows, how much it costs a month, how much they can weigh, how much you got to do this for them, and then you can turn around and sell them for a profit. So she might go that route and be more of a farmer, a cattle farmer versus a rodeo queen.
My granddad managed a 10,000 acre cattle farm in Montezuma, Georgia, and that's where my dad grew up. And he grew up, they had to get up every day and get on a horse and go do something with cattle. You know, it's not necessarily that I have to get up every day and get on a horse and go tend to a cow necessarily to make a living, but we've gotten to go to a lot of places because of horses and cows and taking that lifestyle into a more urban setting and showing it to people. It's almost more of an educational thing. A lot of people don't look at rodeo that way. They look at it as entertainment. But, you know, really part of the thing that's been some of my drive is that it is educational, that people can see that way of life.
And although Jake has cut back on his extensive travel, he didn't bid farewell altogether to his beloved rodeo clown career. He now selectively attends rodeos, focusing on events close to home, where he can spend time with the family while still doing what he loves.
We still do the Athens rodeo. I still go bail out some of my stock contractor buddies when they call me and say, hey, I had somebody got sick, or this guy broke his leg and he can't come, and we still go do some of those. But as far as being full-time rodeo clowning, we've had to back off that. And it's not to say that, there's some rodeo clowns that have pretty long careers, well up into their 60s, 70s. And I'd say when the kids get a little older, we'll go back to going and doing a few more. But as far as full-time 45 weekends a year, we don't do that much anymore.
Heck of a lifestyle, isn't it? Up next, it's off to Gwinnett County and Peachtree Farm. Their mission, to grow locally grown produce while at the same time teaching job skills to those individuals with disabilities.
You might be surprised to know how much water is used on a dairy farm day after day. It's no surprise to dairy farmers, though. They know that milk is made up of 87% water. That means every cow drinks a lot of water to stay hydrated and to produce nutrient-rich milk. And since farmers are such dedicated stewards of the land, they take water usage very seriously. Optimizing water use is more than just a good idea. It's one of the key sustainability goals that the entire U.S. dairy community is constantly striving to reach.
I think it would really surprise people to know that 1 gallon of water on our dairy can be used as many as 4 times.
Dairy farmers recycle and reuse to conserve water every day.
We use it to cool the milk, which needs to be cold when it goes to market.
And then ultimately, we're storing all of that water, saving every drop of that water that's used on our dairy.
So the water cycle goes around and around.
I think it's pretty amazing that the water we're using in our barn ultimately grows the crops we feed our cows.
A Another sustainability goal that U.S. dairy producers have set for themselves is achieving greenhouse gas neutrality by 2050. They're investing, researching, and continuously working to protect the environment, today and for the future. For more fun facts about cows and dairy farming, watch our other short videos in this series. Visit us online at thedairyalliance.com.
Finally this week, Peachtree Farm in Gwinnett County. It's where adults with disabilities live, work, and thrive while producing locally grown produce for Metro Atlanta. Jennifer Parson has their heartwarming story.
Beef,
cabbage,
and kale.
22-year-old Joseph Newton, originally from Nicaragua, was adopted at age 4 after his mother met him during a mission trip. He now resides in Roswell with his family and has been working at Peachtree Farm for over a year.
These are peas.
Here at the farm, it's a training ground with a big purpose.
To be a farmer is an identity. And what's lacking in so many folks' lives is the ability to form a community and form an identity that provides meaning and structure to their lives.
They started just over a year and a half ago, and in that time have built this 3,000 square foot hydroponic greenhouse, established 16 raised beds, created this chicken coop,
You want to hold one?
And are preparing to raise bees in these bee boxes next summer.
It's the greenhouse. We have the brain of the operation, controls all of our environmental controls, and we have the heart of the system that does all of our pumping, mixing our hydroponic nutrients from those barrels into here and sends it out to the greenhouse. In here we have our seedlings.
Once their seedlings start to show leaves, they'll transport them into these boxes. With heaters in place, they plan to grow through the winter season. The goal, 720 plants and hopefully around 15,000 pounds of tomatoes.
We have a few local restaurants who have expressed interest in purchasing wholesale our tomatoes.
They have collards they're growing, different kind of beans, and of course, they're chickens.
Today, I helped clean the chicken coop.
19-year-old Sophia Larrier helps set up the pots in the greenhouse in preparation for the tomato plants and enjoys learning how to raise chickens.
Took some time for me to figure out how to pick them up.
After conquering her fear,
if you hold them like this, they won't fly. I'm beginning to get the gist of being a farmer. It's really not very hard once you know how.
And the chickens seem to like her company.
Chickens, please. Yep, wow, but that's all part of a chicken's life.
They work with the local high school's exceptional education programs, instilling confidence, job coaching, and on-the-spot ag education.
There's 3 questions that folks with disabilities and their families ask, and it's, what are they going to do with their life? Who's going to take care of them? And where are they going to live? We're trying to take an approach that can answer all 3 of those questions by having a place for folks to work, having a space for folks to live in a beautiful and supportive environment that can really make people's lives meaningful.
Joe Twiner, executive director of Peachtree Farm, is dedicated to the work. His sister has special needs, and he says his family wants to be able to provide job opportunities for her once she graduates high school.
We want to be able to provide folks the skills that they can take elsewhere.
With plans for more beds and an additional greenhouse, the future is bright for this farm.
We want to build a supported and independent living community for 45 folks with disabilities to live at.
He says they have community support and local businesses donate their time and services to help build Peachtree Farm because they believe in its mission.
Like everything on the farm, it's a community effort.
In Peachtree Corners, I'm Jennifer Parson reporting for the Farm Monitor.
Great job, Jennifer, and thanks so much.
Unfortunately, we are out of time. For everyone here at the show, take care and have a fabulous week.